What is up, y'all? Welcome to GrillMatic. Today we're going to be reverse searing a picanha, or what they call the queen of steaks. Because the tomahawk is known as the king of steaks, they call the picanha or rump cap the queen of steaks. So let's go. Let's get it. Right, so I've had this beautifully marbled steak dry brining in my fridge overnight. I sprinkled a nice generous layer of the Smokey Joe loaded salt. So it's kind of a smoked loaded salt, you know. Just, I don't know if it's going to really impact the level of smoke, you know, compared to what we're going to be adding when we put it in the smoker. But first things first, let's begin by sparking up that fire. Today I'm going to be using the offset, but not in the traditional sense, as in I'm not going to be using the firebox today. So the fire is actually going to be here, right in the cook chamber, and the steak is going to be right here on the grates. So at the beginning, I'm going to be just, you know, smoking it, bringing it up to temp nice and slowly while my fire is offset, but in the cook chamber. And once I get to the desired, you know, medium rare temperature range, I'll pull it off and then maybe give it a rest for a little bit, and then slide the grates over to the top of the charcoal, and then that's how I'm going to give it the sear. So just you know, employing this slide method, as I call it. So in my chimney starter, I've got about 3/4 of charcoal in there. And I'm gonna light it up using this Samba natural fire starters. They're like little tumbleweeds, you know, wood shavings covered in a little bit of wax, and they ignite pretty quickly. Right, charcoal is ready, and I've got a couple of splits of this pecan wood over here that I'm going to be using. Just had them preheating just so they catch fire nice and quick as soon as I dump the charcoal in. Right, one there, and another one there. Close it up. Let's check the vents real slightly. Got the vent maybe 3/4 shut. Let's get it nice and hot and preheated for the steak. Speaking of which, like I said, steak has been dry brining in the fridge overnight, so she's looking pretty good. Fat cap up. The grain actually flows this way. Gonna try to make sure I remember that, because when we slice, we want to go against the grain to get that nice juicy tender, you know, slice. I'll place it in the cook chamber sort of in this way, just so that I remember to cut, you know, going against the grain that way. So going in the smoky cook chamber. Ooh. Now at some point I'm gonna put a probe thermometer in there just to monitor the temperature. Also, one more tip is that I did have it in the fridge overnight, but before I chucked it on there, I had it out, you know, in room temperature for about an hour and a half, you know, while I did all the prep, went to the shops and all that. So it got up to temp nice and slowly, so it doesn't really cook unevenly when you pull it out of the fridge and put it on the, you know, on the smoker directly. It cooks on the outside too fast, and then you get that sort of gray band all the way on the outside. But yeah, let it come up to room temperature. So for now, we wait and hydrate. All right, now because this is such a big steak, and there's only 2 of us really consuming it today. I thought I would, you know, take a few slices and make a nice, simple steak sandwich. So one of my favorite condiments that I like to go on any sandwich, burger, or wrap is a nice caramelized onion bacon jam. So let's make that and then put that on the sandwich. So what I've got here is some middle cut bacon that I'm gonna chop up into fine little cubes. I'm gonna try to remove some of this rind off of there. That's not gonna cook up nicely. Got my trusty old Spinifex camping stove that I love to depend on, especially when I'm here outdoors. While the bacon does its thing, let's make a compound butter, starting with salted butter, some garlic, curly leaf parsley, oregano leaves. Ran out of gas midway, no biggie, we got spares. Just about a handful of that. Give it a quick rinse, wash off any dirt, any bugs. Let's see. I'll just start with that amount for now. Using some room temperature butter. Yeah, start with about that much. See how we go. Sprinkle just a tad, tiny bit of oregano leaves. Looking nice. I've mixed it all up. Just combined everything together to a nice, you know, spreadable compound butter. Or you can also use it just as a dip. And I've also got my bacon nice and crispy, just the way I like. Now I'm going to chop up some onions and fry them up in that rendered fat from the bacon. Let's get it. Now that the onions are a bit translucent and cooked down nicely, it's time to reintroduce that crispy bacon back in there. Let that combine. I'm also going to go in with about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Get that nice sweetness in there. Also going to give it a splash of balsamic vinegar. A preferred but not mandatory ingredient. Splash of bourbon. A little bit more. Whoa. That's a flamer. Yeah. A little bit more sugar. Get that jammy consistency in it. No more alcohol in there. That looks amazing. Ooh, look at that. All right. Okay. Internal temp now 125, and the cook chamber is at 274. Confirm that with a few probes. Okay, and that's how she's looking. The fat's nice and rendered. Yeah, so the thing about picanha is that because it's so weirdly shaped. It's like in some areas it's thicker, and like in the center it's a bit thicker. Along the edges it's a little bit thinner. Time to pull it off and let it rest before we sear. Here we go. So this is going to be our sear zone. Some rustic bread that I'm going to be using in the sandwich. This is just some ciabatta that I picked up from the store. Do not burn. The moment of truth. I'm gonna dab off some of this fat because as soon as I put that on, that fat is gonna cause a lot of flares, a lot of flame ups. I wanna get it as dry as possible. Start with the meat side first. Meat side down first. Boom. Couple of minutes per side. While that's happening, let's butter up the bread. Oh yeah. She looking crispy. Let's get that fat toasted up. Now because we gave it a rest earlier, perfectly safe to slice on in. I'm going to be slicing that way. Nice crispy top. That fat's crisped up real nice. Slices just like butter. Your boy did good. Your boy did nice, mate. What are you talking about? Nicely against the grain. Beautiful pink color all the way through rough. Yeah. Get some more slices out here and absorb some of these juices. I'm gonna try to go as thin as possible. Just for sandwich preferences, that is a thing of beauty. Alright, before we proceed to give you what you need, try one of these. Absolute juiciness, man. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Look at that. Alright, let's not be greedy. Let's cut me a little sliver. Flipping lacquer never let me down one bit. Watch this. Tiny bit of that flipping lacquer. You know what I mean? Get them juices again. Boom. Whoa. Okay. Flipping lacquer is there. Oh. Oh yeah. I think flipping lacquer is my new finishing salt. Now we crown the queen. Oh. Clean. Look at that. Didn't put no barbecue sauce. Didn't put no steak sauce, didn't put no mushroom sauce or none of that. Just salted picanha, salted overnight, reverse seared with some pecan wood, bacon jam, compound butter, garlic, you got rosemary, parsley, butter. Absolutely sensational. You gotta go in for a second bite. You need to try this. I'm definitely gonna try this at the barbecue school. Shout out to Hot Wings. Shout out to all my subscribers. Thanks for the love, thanks for the support. If you're new, please like and subscribe. Definitely gonna go a long way. I've got major plans in the future. There's gonna be plenty Zimbabwean food, Malaysian food, Australian food, American food this year, 2025. I'm out. Thank you.